to find themselves a little bit here. I'm very, very interested to see how this first game goes, because when one team's on the up, the other team's kind of falling back to earth. That first game can really dictate how the entire set goes.
Yeah, and Almost Kids has a lot sort of riding on their shoulders now. With Testa out of the tournament, they are the last Japanese team left to play in InkStorm Plus, and also being a defending champion of InkStorm, they have a lot to prove here. They were able, as you said, to take out Team Olive 3-1, but Synergy really is more of a roadblock to them. They're looking to try and get some revenge on Silver Sanctioned Saikai. If they come out of their losers quarterfinal match, they'll have an opportunity to rematch them from that game in winners quarterfinals, where Saikai was able to dispatch them and send them to losers by a 3-1 victory.
And you know they are itching that, but like you said, Synergy, a roadblock in and of itself, going to be very difficult. I know they talked about it earlier. Synergy as a team is really tooled to take back some of that turf, get it going, get things going quick, and then put the pressure on against Extermination. They were just down too much time in their spawn to really put that game plan into action. One person that I really want to highlight here that's got to come up big, I think, you know who it is. He does it. It's Tim. Tim, one of the best slaying T-Techs, are doing it right now. He's got to come up huge here, because we've seen from previous sets the slaying power that Almost Kids has, and we know that they're going to be able to take back that map. I think that Synergy needs to outslay Almost Kids if they want any chance, I mean, to even get a win on the board, much less the set.
Yeah, and on the reverse side of that, Almost Kids has a pretty dynamic composition of their own. They like to run that double T-Tech strategy, like to rely on those inkjets to try and carry them, have that aerial power at their disposal, and also the close range aggression that the Tenatech main weapon provides. They're going to be running with people like Rikubal, who got 22 kills and assists over 3 games against No Kids, with only 5 specials used. So he proves that you can really excel with just the Tenatech weapon itself. You don't even need to use the inkjet, but when he uses it, he usually gets some kills and is ready to try and take down Synergy here.
And just like you said, that double T-Tech comp is what's going to be rolling out right now, along with a Splattershot Jr. and the Rapid Blaster that we have seen go ham today. It's not great, but I think Riku is just fine. We're seeing Taku here on the left side going after Sora, going to get the kill, fighting through the ink armor. Tim going to be able to get a little bit of revenge. Now Tim's got to be careful. Sub 2 Brand, so I don't think that's Brand, coming in for a little bit of help here, and right now things looking pretty solid for Synergy off the bat.
Yeah, Synergy able to get a good amount of map control out of the gate here. They were also able to get a good amount of ink armor, which kept one of their members alive and allowed them to push all the way up to 90 here. Not a big push. They were trying to take that wall up to about the low 40s mark, which is a very common strategy on Rainmaker on this map. That's where I see most teams try and take the Rainmaker. It's relatively safe, especially if you get a 2 or 3 down situation. And we also see Rikubal here trying to pop this inkjet. They don't have much map control, so taking to the skies is about your only option.
And you see here just a little bit of battle. We'll see how these new additions, these ink ribbons, these ink lines, we'll see if they do come in handy right here. That one in the middle, you can kind of get up in the skies to challenge something like an inkjet if you so choose, or maybe just use it for a bit of quick maneuvers here. We have another T-Tech battle, going to be seeing that a lot over the course of this set. But right now, it looks like Almost Kids have created a pretty good advantage for themselves. Brand, the last one, now going down. They're going to at least get it to snipe. We'll see how far they can take it.
Rikubal trying to take it forward here, will eventually go down. Nice, I believe that was a double kill there by Tim to stop that Rainmaker push, so they're going to be able to get it out. That was the lead, though, for Almost Kids, so they're going to have a pretty good advantage here. Tim, though, with this inkjet, trying to reclaim some map control. Good thing about Synergy is they've been able to get consistent ink armors up, and that's allowed them to stay alive to Almost Kids for a long period of time. Now, though, both teams going 2 down, but Synergy still with the map control in hand.
They picked such great routes, Almost Kids, that time getting back into the action. A lot of times, if you go 2 or 3 down, it can be hard to get back in. They picked great routes, found a way to kind of pincer that Rainmaker, take the kill down there. Now, Rikubal going to jump back with that inkjet. Sora kind of stuck aside, but keep an eye on how Almost Kids find ways to get back when they do go down. As you mentioned, Tim did get a double there, but really no ground lost.
And Sorapal's been sticking with this roller since Splatoon 1, favored in the early game of Splatoon 2, the Crack-On roller, but has since switched over to the Splat roller and has that splashdown at the ready. That can allow you to get some map control really quickly, and if you're being pressured by 2 or 3 members of the enemy team, it can allow you to stay alive and maybe get a kill or 2. He's going to also have that curling bomb, which is going to allow him a lot of mobility throughout the map, even when they don't have map control. Tries the 180 flick there, but is not going to be able to get the kill onto Rikubal, whose positioning in this game has been absolutely fantastic. That's going to allow you to stay alive for a much longer time than usual.
Unfortunately, going down to a trade there, but you see a lot of green here on the map. Taku's actually going to get a chance here. I don't know if they have the wall. They don't yet have the wall, so going to kind of be stuck there and not get a lot out of it. That was almost very dangerous, but fortunately for Synergy, the wall up to Overlook, not really painted. Sorapal going to use that curling bomb in a similar manner to the Carbon Deco back in Splatoon 1 with those Seekers, but this has been an even game right now. Just that one slip up by Synergy that allowed them to get up to snipe, but 59, not a big lead on this map. Very solid play from both teams.
Yeah, both teams basically playing keep away right now with the Rainmaker. I think they're each trying to play the wall on either side of the map, but neither one is really inked in the correct enemy colors here. Brand going to come away with a nice kill there. 3 down on the side of Almost Kids, so this could provide an opportunity for Synergy to push forward. They only have about a minute and a half to do so, and Sorapal running out of time on that Rainmaker. Only about 15 seconds left to push. They need to get it to the 58 mark. Sorapal, though, backed into a wall. He has plenty of room to maneuver around him, but is waiting for his teammates to come forward. Just barely dodges the splat bomb, but it's going to go down there. So less and less time remaining for Synergy here, and they're losing map control at the same time.
Oh, but watch out, your Septic Brand got around. They lost the lead there. Tim doing a great job. That was such a well-timed flank. Did just enough to allow Tim to grab that. You only have to step on that bottom grate. You only have to step there for a fraction of a second to get it. 49 again, not a huge, as Brand comes for the solo mission to take it down. Pretty good idea because they were really making that big push to the left. But now they've got to be careful here. You see Riku putting some pressure onto that snipe. 2 down there, 1 down there. They're going to get a chance here to make it, but Sora doing an absolutely great job shutting it down, but the pressure's not done yet. As I say that, it looks like Riku Ball's the last one up.
Almost Kids did go 3 down there. They brought in area for this game on that Splattershot Jr. to try and give some more ink armors to their team to maybe counter what Synergy is doing here, bringing 2 of their own. Tim now trying to just basically bring it up their own street and keep it away from Almost Kids, not even give them a chance. If he goes down in that current position, it'll be devastating, but from the looks of things, Almost Kids only has 10 seconds to get over to Tim and not nearly the map control or the positioning that they need, so Tim just going to back up and back up. He's actually going to jump off with only a few seconds remaining, which won't give Almost Kids enough time to pop that Rainmaker shield, I don't think. But that's a 3-down situation for Synergy, so that could be a crucial misplay, but no! Just enough time remaining for them to get down to mid and pop that Rainmaker. A very close situation as Almost Kids brings it to overtime, but Synergy gonna hold on to it and take game 1.
That was almost devastating. Everybody but Brand was down there. They had all of Snipe inked. If they had gotten up to Snipe there, that would have been the game. There would have been no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Brand, the last one up, hiding in that ink rail, somehow found a way down there. If Brand had not gotten that kill, they would have lost. That is how close that was. I don't know if I liked Tim's... I liked Tim retreating there. I just don't know if jumping it off at the very end was the right move, but, you know, wipe the sweat off your brow. You got the win, but... oh boy, that was a lot closer than it needed to be.
Almost a nightmare situation for Synergy there. Brand maybe taking that Rainmaker back closer to their spawn a bit too early. He was about to be pressured by a member of Almost Kids and decided to jump off to at least reset the Rainmaker back to mid, but that caused that major 3-down situation there. Brand had to swoop in and save the rest of Synergy there from what could have been an easy lead had Brand gone down. So now they get to breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, have a bit of wind brought under their wings as they now move on to game number 2, which appears to be Splat Zones on Inkblot Art Academy.
This is one of those maps where if you take it early and you get back up to the opponent's raised plat area, it can go from 100 to 0 in a hurry. Keep an eye out for what comp both teams end up using here. Tri-Slosher, a very strong, strong on every map, of course, but here where you can ink up just right there, you can take out anybody who's trying to shark and wait for you to come up to that plat. But again, this is one that can change in a hurry. I wouldn't be surprised if both teams try to play this one a little bit more, I guess you could say conservatively, not wanting to go down, because again, if you do go 3 or 4 down against these top teams, they waste no time in taking that turf and putting you in a very difficult situation.
And we can already sort of predict what Almost Kids is going to be bringing to the table just by the people that they've brought into the lobby. They did not sub in Riku, who is the Rapid Blaster player, so they're not going to be relying on that longer range, nor are they going to have his Splat Bomb Rush, which is going to be majorly detrimental if they don't know what they're doing here. Area probably going to be sticking with that Splattershot Jr., so it looks like they're going to be relying on the 2 Ink Armor weapons here, as well as just trying to get straight into the zone and countering the enemy team, which is what they're going for. So 2 Ink Armor weapons in the form of that Tri-Slosher and Splattershot Jr., as well as 2 Tenatechs for that aerial battle. On the other side of things, Synergy bringing in that same Splat Roller that Sorapal has been favoring this entire time, and other than that, not so much of a change in their comp at all.
I mean, and there's really no reason to go with what was different. That last game was very close. You were, that close to winning there. Is unfortunately Brand going down. And even though they did get the lead there early, Synergy did. They went 3 down, so they're not going to get a whole lot out of this. So, Sub to Brand over here, going to try to build some more Ink Armor, as has been said. Splattershot Jr., the best factory for that right now. Lowest total P required to get it. We got to be careful here. You will get out-dueled in close range by the Splattershot if you're not careful. So maybe... No, does...
What an outplay.
That was incredible right now. And, we missed some stuff going on here in the middle, but it does look like not only did Synergy gain control, but they were able to put them 3 down as well. Tim not wanting to go in too far just yet, but he's going to be itching for the chance to get up there and put some pressure on them as this timer ticks down to just over 3/4 of the way through.
Big plays here for Synergy. Actually got a nice kill there onto Arakuma. Now we switch over to Rikaball's perspective, who's trying to find Tim with that shot. Actually gets Brand with the very final inkjet shot. Unbelievable. I think that was just a stray bullet, essentially, that found him. That forces in essentially a 3-down situation for the members of Synergy. So now Almost gets able to get full control over the zone and of mid. So now Synergy sort of scrambling here as Brand and Sorbal are backed up behind that box. That's exactly the kind of situation that Almost Kids wants them. And they know that they don't really have any long-range weapons with which to push forward, so that's going to give Almost Kids the lead. They still are working with Ink Armor, so they're going to be surviving for a little while, and now as we go essentially 3v3, Almost Kids in a much better position as they push past that halfway point.
Right, and it's worth noting on this map, because you only have that top plat to work with, and it's not a lot, you really don't have that side area that you can get your special back. Some maps give you a little bit more opportunity to do that, to build it up, but it looks like Synergy have found their way back into this with or without specials. Unfortunately, Tim going to go down here, Brand going to be following him, and right, just like that, 4 down, and now Rikaball's up in that danger position we were talking about right now. Gonna get a little more ink, and yep, there goes that ink jet. Gotta be careful here. If they go down 2 or 3 one more time, I think Synergy might be done in this game.
One of the toughest aspects about this map is that there's really not many ways to flank around. You only have the left side, which is very predictable coming from spawn, or the right-hand side if you can get down past that ramp over by the core area. Otherwise, you have to basically just take the leap of faith down straight into the zone, which is very easily defendable from Almost Kids, even with their short-range weapons. So if they have the Ink Armor, if they can box Synergy in like they've been doing, as Taku gets a brilliant double kill and tries to find the triple on the Brand, but just barely can't. A teammate actually cleaning him up, but Almost Kids doing exactly what they need to do, boxing Synergy in for the entirety of that match from that point on, and they are going to be tying this set up at 1 after that Ink Quad Art Academy game.
Brand trying there to be the hero the second game in a row, but taking out a Rainmaker, much easier of a task than taking out 3 people on zone. But that game went pretty much as we thought that it might go. Big chunks coming out from both teams, and it was really once they were able to move up Rikaball to that plat area and get some ink down on that plat area. He only got a couple kills there, but more than anything, he stalled long enough for his teammates to get the specials, to offer the support that they needed, and then after that, you just saw the members of Synergy go down kind of one at a time, just trickle in, go down, like you said, on that map. Very difficult to get back in. At some point, you just have to take that leap of faith. So, very well played there by Almost Kids. And now we move on to Tower Control, Muscle Forge Fitness, also known as the Battle for the Trench. What are we looking for in this map?
Muscle Forge Fitness, not a very large map. Of course, like you said, the trench is going to be such an important area to defend. I akin this one always to a Flounder Heights style map where on something like Rainmaker, it's very easy to just jump down and get a lot of points. But for Tower Control, it's going to be a little bit more measured. You have those checkpoints that you still have to meet where the tower is just going to stop for a little while. And it's going to be a very close quarters and bloody battle like we've been seeing in the past 2 games, but even more so because of the size of the map. I'm going to be expecting a lot of these players to just kind of hang out on the walls, wait for anybody to come too close, especially if they don't have that ink armor up, and just try and melt them down and try and force their way into that middle part of the map. It's not Splat Zone, so it's not going to be as contested in mid, but that middle part of the map is still going to be such an important area to control. And we see here that Area has subbed out for Almost Kids, so they're bringing in Bukichi, who I don't believe we saw yesterday in the top 16 bracket, so this is going to be interesting to see what weapon they're going to bring to the table.
When you have a large team, you can go with weapon specialists if you see a situation that you like. Let's take a look here. It looks like Bukichi going to be using that Rapid Blaster. Not at all surprised to see that one come out for Tower Control. Blaster, Tower Control, it's like peanut jelly. But on the other side of it, Tri-Slosher, a very strong pick on this map and almost every map. But here, really, like you were saying earlier, that trench, you can just rain down lots of pain on the team. And it looks like they're going to go in really deep is Synergy to try to make something happen on this left side. Tim going to be able to get one there, and it looks like Tim is the last one left, unfortunately. Going to be forced to make a play here, not quite to that inkjet yet. Going to get it now, maybe wait a little bit, try to do something with that splat bomb, but he's got to make a play in a hurry because that tower's moving.
Down. It's taken down. No.
I can't hear anything Zach is saying, if he is saying anything. Okay. Cool. So sorry for the technical difficulties, folks, but as we were talking about that, it does look like Almost Kids has now forced their way in there. Very timely inkjet from Rikaball gets the kill on Sora. Sora's stuck in an unfortunate position there. Now the battle in the skies continues as yet another inkjet coming in. And it's getting these kills, but more than anything, it's just keeping people away from the tower, away from stopping that push. Subdebrand gonna be able to get back in and make something happen here. Arikuma gonna stay alive, and it does not look like... well, no, it does look like they're gonna be able to get it. Stop it at 5, and there we go.
Very close battle there. We do apologize for the technical difficulty.
He's able to get one kill, almost
tries
get two.
To pop it, but no, that's not going to be it. And Almost Kids regaining map control by the second.
Very, very quick action there by Almost Kids, able to take out Bran, who was actually in a pretty strong position there on that side, but again, got sniffed out there. And now it looks like gonna barely live there go down there as Taku's the one barely able to live here. And this tower is just gonna continue moving along this trench as again, the battle in the skies continues. Inkjet after Inkjet. Now the Ink Armor comes out too. This is looking grim very, very quickly. They were able to get a stop last time they were in this situation.
Almost Kids getting very, very close to the end here. They've almost gotten to their personal best, and that should be the knockout. Almost Kids getting the win here on Muscle Forge Fitness, and after losing game 1, they will take the next 2 and put Synergy's back up against the wall.
Yeah, and like you said, back against the wall here, and you know, it seemed like at the beginning they had something sniffed out. They put a lot of pressure on that right side, but the kill counts tell the story here, along with 6 Inkjets. Just continual pressure over and over and over, and that's the name of the game with Almost Kids. That's how they've gotten their wins. That's exactly what they did to Olive, and if you can do it to Olive, you can do it to anybody. You know, we talked earlier in the set about how Synergy is going to have to outslay them, and I know that sounds like an oh duh thing. You know, of course we have to outslay them if we want to make something happen, but it really cannot be stressed enough when you have a team that takes turf as quickly as Almost Kids can do it. Going down too many people at one time loses not only some positioning and objective, it loses you the map, and from there things just escalate. But now we have Rainmaker on Sturgeon Shipyard, and this is one of those maps where you can take it left and you can take it right, but the, I guess, dichotomy of going right versus going left is one side can get you the points faster, but you're also a lot more open. And then if you go left, you get points not quite as quickly. You're a little bit further away from the pedestal, but it's a little bit more closed, so you are shielded from some bullets, but at the same time, it kind of becomes that echo chamber. So, I don't know. What do you think Synergy needs to do to bring this back?
Well, it's a little tougher for Synergy. Almost Kids does have a little bit deeper of a roster. They can afford to sub in 1 or 2 players, whereas Synergy is basically bringing a core 4 people in with them for all of these games. So it's a little bit predictable what they're going to be bringing to the table. Of course, on a map like this, it's a little bigger than something like Muscle Forge Fitness, so you can afford to sort of shark around a little bit on different sides of the map, and it's a little bit tougher for the enemy team to figure out where you are. For the Rainmaker's sake, taking it over to the left-hand side is going to be pretty predictable unpredictable, so you're going to want to really wait for those 2 or 3 down situations when there are fewer people that might be able to stop you from getting those major pushes, because it's going to be the 1s to 20 or the 1s to about the 10 mark that are going to win you the game, even on a larger map like this one.
And now we're seeing the T-Techs come out. If you got one, use it right now. It seems like everyone trying to go with that tried and true weapon here, and pretty even here off the start. Great job. Now we're going to see that pressure coming in here from Tim, going in now, opting to go back and help on the left side. They got to take care of Rikabal. As Rikabal does go down, they're going to get a chance to go left here, and Sub to Brand does make that jump. Right now you can see the members of Almost Kids trying to come here to address this before it can get too out of hand. And it looks like Arikuma might be able to sneak around, but that Inkjet not getting it done in time, though the pressure is still on.
Yeah, you could notice the members of Almost Kids scrambling to get over to that left-hand side, sort of like moths to a flame there. Nice kill as well there on Taku, but now Rikubal basically making a Hail Mary push here with the Rainmaker. Brand, the only one back to stop him, and fortunately gets that kill. Most of the members of Synergy were pretty far pushed up, so that's going to be a huge stop on the side of Brand, who now is going to have a chance to pick up the Rainmaker on his own volition. Synergy with the early map control lead in mid, and is going to probably try and take it over on this left-hand side. Unfortunately, it's going to go down, though, so Almost Kids forced to play a bit of defense, but at least they're doing it well.
And that really was kind of like, I'm glad you used the term Hail Mary. They were 3 down at the time. Rikabal, knowing that just popping it and resetting it wasn't going to be enough, he was going to need to force a member of Synergy to try and get that kill as well, just to stall them a little bit more. Now the Rainmaker up here on this top spinner. Not a common spot to see it, as unfortunately they're going to go 4 down. This is the chance Synergy's been looking for.
This is going to be a major effort here. They basically can go anywhere that they want to. They just have to make sure that everywhere they go is inked. Except for Brand, making sure that they have a little bit of room. They're going to get all the way to the 41 mark. Maybe not as far as they would have liked, but it is at least an extension on the lead. They had to extend themselves very, very far, though. 3 down, essentially, for both teams there, but Riku going to push forward here with the Rainmaker, at least get it out of their spawn. And finally, Almost Kids looking like they're reclaiming a bit of map control here in mid, with Sorapal being one of the few people still left in that middle part of the map.
And it just goes to show how hard it is to get past these teams at this level, right? It takes a full wipe from your team just to get it to the 40s. Now, I know not every situation is the same, but it really is difficult to make these pushes, and shows how many resources you need to have. Right there, Almost Kids kind of meager attempt at a push, trying to get something started there. Gets completely stuffed out. Not even Taku is safe, and he wasn't even near it. So now, again, Synergy showing this is the slaying that they needed to have. This is the pressure that they needed to exert. Looking very strong here with just under 2.5 minutes left to play.
Arikuma jumping down, trying to force Tim away from that jump once again. A lot of the members of Almost Kids weren't there. They were either coming back from spawn or not, but Tim, unfortunately, going to go down to a really well-placed splat bomb there by Taku, trying to get another kill there onto Sorapal. Somehow survives him before Sorapal gets the flick down, and now Taku can afford to try and pop this Rainmaker shield, basically just sitting on this Inkjet as well. So really, Taku using the many elevations on this map to his advantage is also going to get sub for Brand, and looking for actual Brand to try and take him down. Pops the Inkjet to try and get him, but no, Brand ready for that, backs up just in time and uses the grading to his advantage. Now Synergy basically has to try and get this map control back before anything bad happens, but with a 3-down situation on the side of Almost Kids, they now finally at least have a bit of breathing room.
They can afford to take their time here, really pick which way they want to go. Brand going to be sitting over here trying to get what looks like maybe a little bit of a flank going. Now adjusts back to the middle, sees the one on top, and unfortunately going down to Taku in that elevated state. Tim caught between a rock and a hard place right now, going to go down as well. They got to be careful here. They were able to take the map, but they weren't able to do much with it. Now being forced to retreat. Taku going in, knowing that the Inkjet is on deck. Rikabal using their own Inkjet. Going to use it here, and Brand still alive somehow, hiding right below there. Sora, though, trying to come around and make something happen, and all the members of Almost Kids, except for one, going to go down, but Synergy, 2 down as well.
Riku definitely showing his prowess there on the Rapid Blaster, being the last one alive, but unfortunately he's going to get flanked around from behind, so this is a great situation for Synergy to be in. Sorapal going to be the one to grab the Rainmaker here. I haven't seen Synergy push too much further forward than this middle point unless they have a 3 or 4 down situation to try and push this Rainmaker forward. Sorapal, unfortunately, is backing up, trying to find the right spot. If he backs up too much, that could be devastating, as it could give Almost Kids basically a head start on what could be their last push of the game. Sorapal now finally feeling comfortable enough to push forward, is going to throw the bomb down or have a teammate throw it down to try and get this box push. Can he make it across? He will, just barely. Now he's only faced with Taku, who was the last one alive, and Taku able to finally shut him down, so that prevents an extension of the lead by Synergy.
Oh, very unfortunate there. Arikuma actually fell off. Arikuma could have gotten it a little earlier than Taku, though Taku certainly doing a great job of shutting that. Taku's able to take out Sub Debris in here. They might have a kind of a head start at this left-hand push. Not able to get it, but the Inkjet is on deck. They've got to be careful. There's pressure at the top. Taku going to go down here. Riku Ball still alive. They still have 3 up. They can still do this, but they got to be careful. Brand going to try to make some heroics happen here again. Not able to make it happen this time. Although 30 seconds left on the Rainmaker, and they got to make something start happening quick.
Almost Kids looking for the right path to go through. They do have all members alive, but they've allowed Synergy to get all of their members alive as well, contemplating bringing it over to this right-hand side wall. They need to get to the 40 mark, being flanked around by Sorapol, and that should do it. Not decisive enough as Almost Kids as they wait too long. They had a 2-down situation forced onto Synergy, but could not make anything of it, and Synergy will break the tie here and go up 2-1, with Almost Kids having their back now firmly pressed up against the wall.
And I will say, do not underestimate that Roller's ability to get around there. That curling bomb allowing you to cut through enemy ink, and you can see right there in the middle, that nice little narrow green path. That was Sora's path to victory in that situation. And I'm glad that you mentioned they were 2 down. If Sora was not able to get that kill or that trade, as the case was, that may have been the game there. 41, a pretty significant push, but could have turned very quickly. So again, both of these Rainmaker games going in favor of Synergy, but not by as much as the score may indicate. But now we're back on Splat Zones. We saw a very dominant display from Almost Kids in the last Splat Zones game. And so this is, this is big. This is the money ball. So yeah, here we are. This is it. Backs up against the wall right here. Game 5. What can they do in this situation? Synergy, you got to get something figured out, because the last time this came up, it didn't look too good.
Yeah, actually, Game 5 here, Splat Zones on Starfish main stage. Again, a very open map, only a few speakers in mid here to sort of block incoming fire. You do have those tall spires on the left and right-hand side of the map, as well as those grates that provide nice opportunities for flanking. You don't have to worry about chargers either, because the snipers aren't really brought by either of these teams. It's going to be short to mid-range weapons, like that T-Tech, like the Splattershot Junior, and like the Tenatech. So there's still going to be a lot of those ink armors to contend with. Basically, you have to be ready for a fight with someone who has the ink armor up at all times, be able to get that extra shot in and still be able to come away with the kill. But there's a lot of open ground here. There's only a couple of short, low walls to try and shark on, basically, to wait for people to come in through mid, and it's really anybody's game. We've seen a lot of back and forth between these two teams. It just depends on who is able to get that major 2 or 3 down situation. Again, because it's Splat Zones, the objective not going to be moving from mid, so everyone's attention will be focused on that area unless one team gets a major advantage and is able to push into that spawn. But with how proficient both of these teams are, I don't really envision that happening.
Yeah, I don't envision it happening either here. This last game should be a good one. Kind of a summary of everything that's happened so far. It does seem like when the advantage is theirs, it does seem like Almost Kids is able to hold it to a stronger degree than Synergy is, but Synergy